We return now to the anti-Maduro protests, which exploded on the streets of Caracas, Venezuela today. As night fell, it still was not clear if the Venezuelan military had heeded opposition leader Juan Guaido's call to abandon President Maduro. William Brangham is back, and he talks with the U.S. representative of Venezuela's opposition.
Thanks, Judy. To understand more of what's going on in Venezuela tonight and how the opposition plans to proceed, I'm joined now by Carlos Vecchio. He is Juan Guaido's representative in Washington, D.C., and he's recognized by the U.S. as the official Venezuelan ambassador. Mr. Vecchio, thanks for being here again on the NewsHour. This morning, Juan Guaido, in that video, stood with members of the Venezuelan military and said, "Now is the time." Why did he believe that today was the day?
Because today he announced the activation of the Operación Libertad, freedom operation, in order to put an end of the usurpation of power of Nicolás Maduro. So as an interim president, he's calling to the Venezuelans to demonstrate peacefully, and also has requested the military force to support the Venezuelan in order to recover our democracy. So that's where we are right now. We will continue on the streets peacefully until we achieve democracy again. This is not a single event. This is a process. So you have seen in the last months how the determination of the people of Venezuela is. I mean, we are there. We will continue on the street, and we are fully committed to conquer freedom again.
But here we are 12 hours later since he issued that video saying, "I have the support of the military." And yet we see tonight, we still don't know that the military is truly on Guaido's side. Is there any concern that this was a premature move on his part?
Not at all. As I said, this is not a single event. I mean, this is a process, and we will continue on the street, and we will continue requesting the support of the military force. The reality is that Juan Guaido is free. He's on the street. Leopoldo Lopez, who was under house arrest, is free. And the reality is that the Minister of Defense of Maduro, the chief of the Supreme Court of Maduro, and the commander of the Presidential Guard were negotiating the exit of Maduro. So you will see the reality is there. So the majority of the people of Venezuela and the majority of the military force, they are with us. They are expecting a change, and we will continue to do that until we can conquer freedom.
As you well know, the Venezuelan military is obviously crucial in all of this. But as you also know, the Maduro regime has been funneling a lot of money, state industries, towards the military to keep their support. What will it finally take to get them to change their loyalty?
Well, again, we need, our determination, and we have been putting pressure in 3 different levels. On the streets with the people, we will continue to do that, and tomorrow we are calling for a massive demonstration across the country, and also we will continue putting pressure through the National Assembly, the only democratic elected institution in our country, and again, the international community will be an important actor to increase that pressure, and in that way, we can force for a peaceful transition in our country.
The Trump administration again today, several officials called for that peaceful transition to occur. We also had one U.S. Senator, Rick Scott of Florida, call for the U.S. to deploy its own military to the Venezuelan border. Would you support that idea?
We have a clear instruction for our interim president, Juan Guaido. Just move the people, get the support of our military force, and the pressure from the international communities. That's where we are. I don't have any doubt that we will achieve democracy again.
There are several other nations that are supporting Maduro and trying to keep him up. The Cubans, we know, have something of a paramilitary force. We saw them on the streets today of Caracas. They're supporting him. The Russians are also there. How do you surmount those nations' influence in this whole process?
As you have seen, I mean, this is not a fight between the Maduro regime and the United States. Juan Guaido has been recognized for more than 54 countries. The free world is with us, is supporting the Venezuelan cause, and also the region, the Latin American countries who are within the Lima Group, they are supporting our cause as well. So we have the majority of the international community supporting our movement, and I don't have any doubt that this combination with the domestic force and with the pressure from the international community will conquer our freedom.
Tomorrow is May Day, and as you said that there are going to be enormous protests across the country. Will Juan Guaido attend those protests? And is there any concern that if he does show up on the streets and is rallying people, that he might be arrested?
He will do it. I mean, he's going to be there tomorrow. He's going to call for this massive demonstration, not only in Caracas, but across the country, as I said. And I mean, they haven't done it in the last 3 months. And Juan Guaido has been, walking on the street, getting in contact with our people. And if they try to arrest Juan Guaido, in my view, that will accelerate the process of change in Venezuela.
All right, Carlos Vecchio, recognized by the U.S. as the Venezuelan ambassador. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.